going to see the version of Ben Sublett's life that the family tells. Now, the family says that if there was anyone in Odessa, Texas, when Sublett was alive, that held him in disrepute, they did so out of jealousy, out of envy. Now, they agree that Ben Sublett was a mysterious character. He had this gold and nobody knew where he got it. But they say he didn't throw it away. He didn't spend it in the saloons. He spent it for the welfare of his family. And the family says that Sublett was an honest man. But there were those in Odessa that weren't so honest, and he knew that. As a matter of fact, the gold that he possessed placed him in danger more than once. And they tell the story that one day he was held captive by two desperados. But this version is different in that the two desperados were in deadly seriousness. As a matter of fact, his very life was in danger if he didn't tell them where the source of gold was. But they found they were dealing with an obstinate man, a strong man. For all their threats, he didn't tell them one single fact. And so out of vengeance for not telling them where the gold was, they left him in the Guadalupe Range, abandoned to die.
Well, you can certainly see what evil gold can be.
Yes, that's what Sublett learned. And as a matter of fact, on this particular occasion, he was lucky to escape with his life. It seems that one of the desperados could see no good reason for leaving Ben Sublett alive. Fortunately, his partner persuaded him to leave. And so Ben Sublett managed to survive that day. But ordeals such as that did leave their scars. It imprinted on his mind the fact that the gold that he had possessed was not simply a matter of good fortune, it was also a thing of evil. Evil that he might be passing on to his family if he ever told them where he got the gold. And so in the years that followed, he never revealed his secret to even the most immediate members of his family. Now, the family says he didn't die alone, but he died in the company of his good friend, Uncle Billy Smith, who was a lawman. And further, they say that his death was premature, that perhaps in time, he would have told them where the gold was. Who knows, perhaps he started to on that day. But death interrupted.
Well, Ron, certainly if that version is true, Sublett led a most sad and unhappy life. I can certainly understand now, though, why we call him a man with two faces.
Yes, Bill, he was a controversial character then, and he is to this day. Now we've shown you both versions of Sublett's story, and we don't want to force any conclusions on you, either about Sublett himself or about the mine. We would like to point out this, that it's up to you which story you believe. But if you believe the first one, the town version, the story that Julius Henderson remembers, well, then it's most likely that there is no mine and there's nothing worth searching for. But if you believe the second version, the version that the family tells, if you believe in Sublett as an honest man, a courageous frontiersman, then most likely there is a mine probably someplace in either southern New Mexico or western Texas. It hasn't been discovered yet. It's waiting there, waiting for someone to discover it.
Now, legend places the mine somewhere between the Pecos River on the east and the Rio Grande on the west, that portion of the Rio Grande which runs from north to south. And in particular, it's said that the mine is in the rugged Guadalupe Range, which is right on the border between southern New Mexico and western Texas. Now, to get to the Guadalupes, either from El Paso or from Odessa, Sublett would have had to cross over some of the most desolate country in this part of the United States. It's semi-arid. It's very hard traveling even today. These Guadalupes have made a great claim on human life. You might say that Sublett is a victim of the Guadalupes. Today you can see his grave in Odessa, Texas. William C. Sublett, his real name. Their bodies are buried in the dust, but their names shall live forever. Certainly true in the case of Ben Sublett. Now, ironically enough, his son, who he wished to save from a life of little purpose, spent his whole life looking for this lost mine and died penniless and is buried in an unmarked grave in Artesia, New Mexico. So you can see the great claim that the Guadalupes put on the Sublett family. And others have lost their lives looking for gold, looking for wealth in these rugged mountains. So you should make up your mind before you venture forth into the Guadalupes which story you believe, which of the two stories that we've told. Do you believe in this face of Sublett, the honest frontiersman, or do you believe in the other face, the disreputable, the questionable Sublett? Bill, that's the story of the man with two faces.
Well, thank you very much, Ron, for a fascinating treasure tale. There you have it, the story of Ben Sublett. To some a hero, to others a rascal. But in any event, a man that people will talk about as long as they gather around campfires and spin yarns about treasure. Speaking of spinning yarns, we appreciate getting mail from you. Perhaps you have a treasure tale yourself. Why not write it to us in a letter to the station that you're watching right now? If we do the story and we find the treasure, we'll split it with you. This is Bill Burrud saying until we meet once again in search of treasure, goodbye and good hunting.